So today we're going to be talking about air pollution, and we're just going to hop right into it here. Air pollution, by definition, is the presence of chemicals in the troposphere, so this lower level of the atmosphere in which we live. And so obviously air pollution does affect us as humans because we're living in the troposphere. And, it can affect us in a lot of different ways, and so it ranges all the way from just being annoying, like it's hard to see, a reduction in visibility, to having some serious health issues, all the way to lethal. So, you can go into lung failure from a lot of particulate matter in the atmosphere. And we say this is a global issue because the atmosphere circles the entire globe. If someone pollutes into the atmosphere, then wind will take it somewhere else. So there's no borders in the atmosphere around the globe. And so it is actually something really important to think of when we talk about global policy. And air pollution has lots of sources, and so naturally they come from dust from windstorms gives us particulate matter. Wildfires can give us particulate matter, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides. Volcanic eruptions, like we talked about before, also give us lots of particulate matter, sulfur dioxide, and volatile organic compounds are compounds that evaporate really easily. And very few plants, but some plants actually release VOCs, or volatile organic compounds, into the atmosphere. And so the amount of this is, not very large. And these air pollutants are spread out around the globe, because the solution to pollution is dilution, right? If we don't have a lot of it in one place, then it's not such a big deal. But, what happens is that we add a lot more into the atmosphere than what is natural from anthropogenic sources, and we're not able to remove these air pollutants out as easily. And so, we do remove them naturally, or the earth does remove them naturally through chemical cycles, which you will learn about ad nauseum in the future. Gravity, so they just fall out, and precipitation. They rain snow out of the atmosphere. Again, why we shouldn't be eating snow. And here, right, we can categorize pollutants depending on how they're emitted. So primary pollutant is a pollutant that's emitted directly into the atmosphere from the source. So like I said before, a volcano is directly from the volcano. Cars and industry, burning of fossil fuels, all of these emit directly into the atmosphere. And those kinds of pollutants include particulate matter, nitrogen oxides. So this X denotes a number, usually 1 or 2. So for example, nitrogen oxide is NO, and nitrogen dioxide is NO2. And so we note this as NOx, or NOx. Sulfur dioxides, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and volatile organic compounds, like I said before. So all of these are emitted directly into the atmosphere, and they are in contrast to secondary pollutants. And so secondary pollutants is a result of primary pollutants reacting with either another primary pollutant or with something else that's in the atmosphere, like water vapor, and it ends up causing a chemical reaction, giving us a secondary pollutant. So again, a secondary pollutant is not something emitted directly into the atmosphere. It's a reaction, or it's the result of a reaction of a primary pollutant. And so, for example, here in the picture, right, NOx, or NO and NO2, right, they are primary pollutants. They're reacting with oxygen in the atmosphere, and ultimately, with this chemical reaction coming, in the end, we end up with tropospheric ozone, which is our quote-unquote bad ozone. And we'll talk about that again a little later. But it's important to remember that these secondary pollutants are a result of a reaction of primary pollutants. And so another example is sulfuric acid. And so we will talk about this more when we talk about acid deposition. But sulfur dioxide reacts with water that's already in the atmosphere and gives us sulfuric acid. And voila, we have acid deposition, or aka acid rain. So another one that I'll point out are these peroxyl nitrates, and or we're just going to call them PANs from here on out. And these PANs can be a real irritant, not only to humans but also to plants. And so these PANs are a secondary pollutant that are created, as you can see in this little reaction here in the picture. And so again, here's another pretty picture for you. Right, my primary pollutants are coming directly from these sources. Natural, anthropogenic, does not matter. They're still primary pollutants because they're being put directly out into the atmosphere, where secondary pollutants are a result of a reaction of the primary pollutants and something else.